easing to get my head around the NFL, which gets underway tonight. And, okay. All right. This will help me. This will help infuse. I'm not there. I'm normally always there, but you know what it is? Florida State's good. Florida State's back to being very good. And while our, central theme on the show has always been for the better part of 25 years, Florida State, we do look nationally at the other sports. We look at everything. And I know as the shift happened to me going to Warchant, we did even more Florida State stuff. But I've always had keen interest in everything else. I'm a sports guy. It's what I do. I love it. But I typically by now, Tom, I'm ready to roll with the NFL. And I think because the Bucs prior to this upcoming season and to a degree last year had a nice long run as well, I was already making the leap to the league in my head along with college weeks ago for over the last several years. But because I know the Bucs are bad this year, really know that the Bucs are bad this year, then I've kind of gone, ease in. Now, I love the league. It's a different thing, and I still gamble there too. But I gotta get immersed. It'll happen tonight. It'll happen tonight.
Yeah, I think we both had last-second fantasy football drafts this week.
Mm-hmm.
Mine gave me an A+ grade, which means I'm going to...
You're going to get obliterated.
Absolutely.
No chance to win.
Never got an A+ draft grade before.
No.
Oh, well.
Even the year you won the league.
It's been a good season.
It's just one of those things, buddy. I thought I had a terrible draft because I felt a little, I don't know, behind. I felt like I was lagging. And then I had the draft, and afterwards they're like, good draft, man. And I'm predicted to win this week. No chance. That means I'm dead in the water. I'm with you. Dead in the water. Florida State gets the win, now takes on Southern Miss, and it's kind of hard to, frankly, wet your whistle with enthusiasm given what we just did in Orlando and all that we were doing leading up to that game. That game was as anticipated as maybe the Florida State-Alabama game a while back. I mean, that felt big, and It was big, and the energy was palpable.
Ended a little bit differently, too, didn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And then, now you got to okay, let's ratchet it back up. I'm not playing in the game. Mike can't yell at me. I don't have to be emotionally charged for this game. I don't have to be sky high when they kick it off. I could be as even keel as I damn well feel. I'm not making a single tackle on Saturday night.
Now, this is interesting. I am keyed up for this game.
Listen, it's all relative. I'm talking about to what it was last weekend, obviously. We all traveled over there. We had a lot of great the responsibility was great, but I mean that in a good way. It was fun. We got to see all kinds of people and interact with fans who were keyed up. We got to do our Seminole headline show there at the bar at Hooch, and that was cool. I mean, it was tons of Noles everywhere.
Rowdy.
Very rowdy.
Atmosphere.
Very rowdy. And then you and I got to do the pregame show on the big stage, great PA system, thousands of people
much
there.
More respectful atmosphere.
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic.
Wanted to take pictures.
They were locked in. They were listening. And so we had a blast with all that. Then you have to get back the next day. Next thing you wake up, it's Wednesday. You're like, sneaking up on me, baby. Sneaking up on me. But it's a good kind of sneaky. I feel good. I feel all right. I'm ready to go. I'm good to go with my redemption. They're largely, and the other thing I've noticed about me so far this year, I haven't gotten into and it takes a couple of weeks. Now, in my private life, I've had a few of these unders, overs, player prop, that kind of stuff. But for the show, I've just kept it general. I've gone big picture. I'm going to tell you the side I'm on. I'm going to give you the number and who I'm picking and why, and then that's it. That's where we're going.
So I got the email today, as Director Matthew did, shortly before noon, maybe closer to 11:30 with these picks, and I didn't look at them. I'm excited to see the board.
You didn't want it.
But I'm also curious to see what the board looks like between college and NFL splits. How much of the NFL did you dabble in, if any? Yeah, I figured as much.
Two picks. Now, I think my personal life might be different than that.
I see.
I think I may end up going with a couple more that I started to think about, feeling pretty good about. There's a few out there that I'm like, I should jump on that too. By the way, something as a total aside regarding the NFL this year that I'm eager to see, just because they have a chance because they finally upgraded And, at this point, you may see some decent play calling finally. The Chargers. You've got
Really?
Well,
This
now,
time?
they don't get the benefit of the doubt for the most part because of the disappointment we feel all the time.
Did they hire Shanahan?
Well, everybody wants to hire Shanahan. But this is probably a more balanced version of this team this year. Kellen Moore comes over. That's going to be a better play calling circumstance for Herbert. I'm watching.
Okay.
I'm watching. Well, he's good.
Well, that would be really good for the Chargers because maybe they can develop some fans in the Los Angeles area.
I don't give a damn whether they succeed in Los Angeles or not. They should have never gone to Los Angeles. They should have stayed in San Diego. But the point would be, I don't care if 0 people go to the game.
They haven't played a home game yet since the move.
They won't play a home game this year either. But they have one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league, one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the league, and their coach has been soft. And their OCs have really failed Justin a lot of times. I'm like, all right, man, you got a gifted dude now. Let him sling it around the lot. I hate to see wasted talent. I hate it. Drives me nuts, especially if the guy is a decent dude. Really not much to dislike about that guy. I mean, come on, let's go.
I just go back to when he was drafted, and we thought,
we
not
missed
so
it.
much of him.
We missed it.
Well, because Willie and Mario were his guys in college.
There you go.
You look back the wisdom of that now. You say, they might have done something better if you had a replacement level coach and specifically play caller for this quarterback. Didn't help that he himself said, I don't know if I'm good enough to be an NFL quarterback. That hurt. But
yeah, that really rung hollow. We got nervous at that point.
Fair to say they didn't get the most out of him at Oregon?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
And he still had a good career.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to these picks. I'll come back to the other side of that stuff here in a second. I've got my picks ready to go. I don't know if you've got your sirens and everything else that you like to hit here. Boom.
Cyhawk Trophy.
Metro Deli of Tallahassee. I do not see why not. You're right. And the sauces and all the good. Here we go. Iowa State plus 4.5 against Iowa in the aforementioned
Cyhawk Trophy.
That's right. I took Iowa State plus 4.5. That 10-7 is the final score of that game, right? You got to take the 4.5 there.
4.5 might be the over/under.
that might be the total. Arkansas minus 38 against Kent State. You can hit it if you'd like. Kent State. Here's the thing. Kent State. The secret's out, man. The secret's out. I mean, Kent State. This is all-time bad. So Vegas will adjust, but they haven't yet dropped the 38. They may lose by 60. Old Dominion plus 5.5 against Louisiana Lafayette. Woo! We're getting knee deep, baby. Let's go, Old Dominion. Little side note. Might take a little extra action on Old Dominion on the money line.
Ooh,
like them to win the game outright,
right.
baby. Oregon minus 6.5 against Texas Tech. No surprises there. No need for weird looks or anything else. That's good. UConn plus 3 over Georgia State. UConn's respectable.
There's a little siren for that one.
That's a tiny siren. All right, weird game here. Minnesota looked terrible in their win against Nebraska. I'll lay the 20.5 against Eastern Michigan. Give me Oklahoma State minus 3 against Arizona State. That makes sense to you, right? Gundy.
Yeah, and
our guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I forget who Kenny played, but I know it was closer than it should have been.
Should have lost. It's terrible. Oklahoma State. Wake minus 9.5 against Vandy. I don't think much of that Vandy team.
Interesting.
I've bet against them twice already.
A lot of black and gold on the field. Be interesting to see because Wake got out to a huge lead in their first game, but then they kind of crashed and burned. So what are you, Wake?
Yeah.
What are you, Vandy? This is a chin check game.
Vandy's not good. NFL, give me the Jags minus 5 against Indy. I bet against the Indy organization whenever possible. Also, you got a guy making his first ever start. Yeah, give me Jacksonville. And then finally, Vikings minus 6 of the Buccaneers. I'm going to bet against the Bucs every week. I think it's a safe bet. I think they're terrible. I think this team is but sorry.
You know, there's a part of me that hopes you're right, and there's a part of me that wonders if you are. They've got a lot of good players, but I don't know what they're going to do with those good players.
So what are you saying? The same thing I'm saying.
I'm saying they might
You're
cover
saying
a
you don't
couple of
believe-
times and you go, damn it,
you
they
don't-
overcame
You're
it.
saying you don't believe in the head coach, and neither do I. And they won't look prepared, and they are not good. And that quarterback sucks.
Bucs by 20. Fire the cannons.
Oh, buddy, not gonna happen. Give me the Vikings and lay the 6 in Minneapolis, and they'll be geared up and ready to play. Vikings fans are awesome, and that stadium is awesome, and they'll want to get off to a good start. And we never cover anybody, so don't worry about it.
It's a very interesting tailgate setup that they have there because it really doesn't come to life until 1 hour before kickoff, but it comes to life 1 hour before kickoff. And then they all flock to the bars in Minneapolis after the game is over. So it's like they're only reaching their zenith around the third or fourth quarter of the football game. And then
So
the rest of the
slow
day
build,
is
just a steady build.
it's a big time as the sun goes down in Minneapolis.
I will tell you that I like this week's games on a betting card. I like this week's game quite a bit. Games quite a bit. You begin to learn a little bit about tendencies and all that good stuff after week 1 into week 2. But now you welcome in the NFL. But there's also really interesting matchups that play well from a betting angle, not as well from just the card itself. When you're looking at the card itself, you're not like, oh, man, bunch of blockbusters. Texas, Alabama. We're going to learn about a lot with Texas, Alabama. By the way, I like the under in that game. I didn't put it on the sheet, but I like the under in Texas, Alabama. I think they'll both play pretty good defense in that game.
Yeah, I was looking at the slate for the top 25 just to stagger the day versus we do our pregame show 5:30 p.m. What can I watch? What can I catch a quarter of here or there? And I find a lot of the numbers in week 2 to be interesting. And this is a fact-finding mission. I don't know how active I'm going to be this week because there's a lot of things. Like, for example, one of the big games of the weekend because of what happened in week 1 is Colorado, Nebraska, and that's Colorado -3.
Seems like an awfully low number based on what you just saw the two teams do. And that's why if you take Colorado, it's a sucker bet.
Right. I am very suspicious because I think TCU might be a 2 or 3 win team this year.
I think you're correct.
Right. And then I don't know what I watched with Nebraska and Minnesota.
Oh, you watch bad football.
Other than no points.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to sort through that mess of mediocrity. And there's a couple other games like that where the bet is just a sucker line. And I'm thinking, all right. This is where they jump on you. Vegas does for overreactions to week 1. So I'm kind of staying away from most of the action.
A lot of sucker lines this week, I noticed. Tons of them. I mean, even the game I bet, the Oregon game that I took is a sucker line. I mean, they're just begging you to take Oregon. They're like, why would you not? I mean, Texas Tech just lost, and that was a stunning loss.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon just scored 81 points. The whole world saw that. I think Oregon's legit good. One of the things about Oregon is that I think that the money that they do have, and they have great facilities, they have a power player that wants to win in the world of NIL, and transfer portal. Watch the level of talent at Oregon. Go watch them play this weekend, and just kind of, you'll notice some things. That's a good football team. They're good. And then I was looking on the boards to see, because I didn't follow Oregon in the offseason, and I went to their site and started looking in on the players that they brought in, and I began to realize something here. I think they're doing what we're doing aggressively. I think they've got a plan in place here, and they've got the means to do it. So,
and yet it's not even a full 7. With all of that said,
that's why it's
with
a sucker
all of the
bet.
issues,
It's a sucker bet.
So Tech by 10. What's going on here?
Well, if that happens, it would be interesting. But I let's watch that Oregon team. I'm going to go ahead and say that sometimes you got to just plug your nose, close your eyes, and place the bet when you know that Vegas wants you to place that bet, that you're the public that they're about to take advantage of. But sometimes you're like, no, you're wrong on this one, Vegas. The public's going to take it to you. You got to do it sometimes. So I did with that particular game. What are you like?
It's just that reminds me of Chappelle and Half Baked.
Oh,
when he's talking about bringing the eyeballs to
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey guys, our next partner is AG1, the daily foundational nutritional supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it quite literally every single day. I began using AG1 because I'll be honest with you, I don't like to take a bunch of pills and vitamins, and I just wanted something that tastes great, was quick, and easy to remember. So I do it. I do it every morning when I wake up. I certainly have it right after my coffee and before I work out. And I will tell you this, too. It is a simple, effective investment for your health. You can try AG1 and get 5 free AG1 travel packs and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/JCS. Again, that's all you got to do is go to drinkag1.com/JCS. That's drinkag1.com/JCS. Check it out. It's delicious. It's quick. It's easy. It's proven. Vitamins, probiotics, whole food source nutrients. Start your day with it. You'll feel better. I promise.
Before it turns into a catastrophic Cat 5, get in to let us get to the cause of your problem at Finn Chiropractic. Go to finnchiro.com for our online special at FENNCHIRO.com. That's Finn Chiropractic, FENNCHIRO.com, because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Hi, everybody. It's Ed Dean, Florida's #1 statewide radio talk show, now in Tallahassee afternoon drive from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on Real Talk 93.3 FM. Yes, highly entertaining, fast-paced, never boring. We always give you the story behind the story when you catch the Ed Dean radio show. And we are ready to go. Tallahassee daily, 5 to 6 p.m. It's the Ed Dean radio show on Real Talk 93.3 FM WVFT.
Attention radio listeners, this is a Foodies Takeout and Delivery new restaurant alert. Now available for takeout and delivery from foodiestakeout.com. The Hawthorne Bistro, Jerry's Love on a Plate, Coach's Pizza, Munchie's Pizza, Red Eye Coffee, Lofty Pursuits, OG Subs, Dave's Pizza Garage, Sakura Sushi, and many more. Find a complete list of locally owned restaurants offering takeout and delivery at foodiestakeout.com. That's foodiestakeout.com. Don't just shop local, order local.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
See a 5-star like KJ Bolden tweeting out what he tweeted out and noting, quote, "It feels good to see this in person. The program is headed back to its rightful spot. I'm just so blessed to be part of it and one of the players that believed in it." Nicely done, sir. That's quite a quote.
That's strong.
That is really strong. You don't hear kids say anything remotely intelligent ever. kids are largely dumbasses. Almost all of them, including my own. But there you go. How about that, young man?
He's 80% the player that he is, the quote.
He's like a 37-year-old businessman up and coming in a firm on his way to the top. That guy. I mean, that is so direct. It feels good to see this in person. The program is heading back to its rightful spot. I'm blessed to be part of it and one of the players that believed in it. Sir, the Jeff Cameron Show PR firm would have pulled you aside and said, you should say that thing right there.
Yeah. Maybe he gets the Young Prodigy Award, you know?
Come on, buddy. Yeah, we have that every year. Yeah, that's him. We would have brought him up on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
I would have brought up the fact that he doesn't really even need the binder, the laminate. He doesn't need it.
Maybe for a doorstop.
Ladies and gentlemen, KJ Bolden, come on in here, young man.
He's talking about projections, using phrases like and so forth.
Yeah. This is well done.
Preseason projections suggested we would see this, but those things can be, tedious at times. But now with what I've seen Florida State, offense, defense, special teams, so forth, I'm really confident in my decision to go to Florida State.
Well, and give 5-star Charles Lester. I almost said KJ Bolden again. He was stuck on my mind. The young man was so impressive. CJ Lester, Charles Lester, saying just simple and sweet. It's a new era. See, know your lane. Maybe you can't prattle on.
These are both correct answers.
Yes, they are. Succinct, young man. Succinct. It's a new era. Oh, indeed. Era of ass whoopings.
Young men, you guys are good to go.
Yeah.
We're going to call it an early day, but we're going to charge the full amount, full day.
Always.
Off to happy hour.
So it was, let's go celebrate this, everybody. So Florida State is in a good position, and if you want to read more about that, then go to warchant.com.
One thing for the PR firm is we really lean into it with body language when we say, we love to celebrate success. We really love to celebrate success around here. Very Matt Foley-esque.
You like the Seattle Seahawks this weekend, Tom?
Uh-huh. So you're talking about your expanded card. I know what you're angling for here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you and I, the big board is somewhere around these parts. We've got to have some wagers in there, but you also know we always pick a team that.
The quest for 8-8.
Well, they'll be better than that. They'll be better than that. I don't know if I needed the 17th game.
In retrospect,
I'm tired of talking about these records and having to say things like 9-8.
Yeah, the only way that it's palatable to me is if you move everything up. So the final week of the season is still around New Year's. Because that extra week in January, what it does actually is it props up the college football national championship.
Yeah.
Like, it's week 17. These 4 teams are in. I don't really care about the wild card race. None of them are going to win the Super Bowl anyway. But you know what? The national title game is coming up on Monday. I'd rather watch that than week 17. It's giving college football a little bit extra shine, I think.
I've been kind of just, there are some teams that I'm intrigued by. Everybody's interested in Detroit, and we get to see them tonight. Everybody's interested in certain squads that
Atlanta.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. But Seattle's one of them as well. And that was a kind of a resurgent, fun group. They were not good in rushing defense. And if they're going to get a lot better, they're going to have to stop people from running the football. But they were slightly better than middle of the pack in a couple of areas, including their passing offense, which we didn't think that would be the case. And Geno Smith had the season that he did. So, kind of interesting. There are a lot of changes and things that make up the storyline. Obviously, the biggest of those is Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. And we would think that given that they were 29th in passing offense a year ago, that they will be a lot better per drop back this year. I mean, they were 29th in that category last year.
All right. So for the tall boy purposes and the big board.
Here we go.
What side do you like of A&M and Miami?
Texas A&M minus the 3.5.
That's up to 4 now.
Oh, we'll have to bargain.
All right.
I'll give you 3.5. It's still on the wrong side of the number, so it's fine.
Tall boys are very expensive. I don't know. I'm timid here.
You want the 4? You want the full 4?
No, I don't. I'll take the 3.5.
You're going to take the Miami Hurricanes
for wagering purposes only. Never will I take them anywhere except at the dumpster. But
I've got concerns about Van Dyke.
Okay. And what are these concerns, dude? Injury?
Something's not right.
Mentality?
Something's not right.
Oh,
Let's watch him closely.
ear to the ground.
This is important. We're gonna watch this game closely. We're gonna watch. This is an important game for both. Did you hear Jimbo this week?
No.
It was fantastic.
Was he faster than ever?
So, me and the boys from Seminole Headlines, Ira and Corey, are going to do a weekly rundown from coaches clips that you guys will be able to check out, and it's called Coach Speak. And so we did it today, and I think it's going to run tonight. Tom, is that right?
Yeah, tonight. It's scheduled to run after Wake Up Warchant.
Awesome.
Wake Up Warchant tonight on the channel, 6 p.m. It'll be 7 o'clock or thereabouts for this particular.
So it's
feature.
on Warchant TV, and you can watch the three of us take a glance at these clips. I think there are 9 clips that we looked at. We heard from
9.
I think it's 9
Wow.
or 10. Yeah. We heard from Jimbo Fisher. We heard from Brian Kelly, who was asked, by the way, about his comments.
I would never say
I
that.
don't why. I mean, if somebody wants to take a social media,
33 years of coaching, I've never.
What are you talking about, Brian? We've got the audio right here, my man. But we did that with Harbaugh as well. I think the CTE is setting in on Harbaugh, and you got to watch him closely. Got to watch that guy closely.
Did you say what I think you
I
said?
did. I think it's strong in that one.
I'm reading reports over here, and you're talking about CTE and Harbaugh.
I think the CTE is strong in that one. We've got some issues developing with that guy. Watch him closely. So
He was always weird, though, man.
Well, he also got hit a lot when he played.
He went out with Andrea Kramer for the HBO Real Sports,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking about how his dad would kick him out of the house as a kid, and he would play with 3 imaginary friends, wall ball. But he had 3 imaginary friends he played with every day.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, there's something before CTE if CTE ever becomes an issue.
He may have been quirky, and now the CTE is setting in, and we've got a developing situation. Also, Michigan, get a grip on yourself. Stop with all of this as if he were a damn hostage. They were out there on the field holding up his old number. They're getting in these weird formations to honor him. The guy's an ass. Nobody likes him. Nobody.
So
there are 0 people who like that guy.
That's akin to like the Penn State lining up outside of Paterno's house.
Well,
it's uncomfortable.
Worse yet,
we don't care what he said yes to. He's ours. Penn State
looked away from. Yeah, no, it's not quite the same. I mean, I'm not calling Harbaugh a child molester.
No.
I'm nearly stating
he does sleep in the rooms, the bedrooms of recruits.
He did once. Yes.
Now, come on now. Coach Harbaugh he said, you know what? I'm sleeping right here on the carpet.
It's a different sort of deal, man. When Harbaugh talks, I'm like, man, I used to think you're trying to do a Mike Leach thing. Now I just think you might be nuts. You got a little something going on upstairs that's not good. There's a disconnect.
I think your secretary's packing in the desk in case of emergency.
I mean, it's strange. It's strange. Every time I see it, I'm like, mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's the same sort of strange that I feel where we get uncomfortable every time Dabo speaks. Like whenever Dabo speaks, you're like, okay, disingenuous, made that up. That never happened.
There's cringe and then there's danger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, there's just my man's going to be found wandering the streets at 3 a.m. Like naked, confused, staring at the moon. Somebody's going to be like, oh, Jim Harbaugh was found last night on the streets of Ann Arbor, naked, staring at the moon.
What did John Goodman shout in the hallways of Barton Fink? I'll show you the.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what he's shouting.
Oh, and that scene is crazy. He looks insane. You're like, oh, this is awesome. The fire coming down the hall.
He doesn't say, I'll show you the shining of the light, but it's something
yeah,
like that.
I'll
show you.
Well, also when he beats him underneath the tree with the frog and the whole thing, he grabs the piece of wood. He's a menace in that film. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
The Tallahassee Police Department is investigating a shooting that happened Sunday evening that left one man with serious injuries. The shooting happened around 8:30 p.m. at 2202 West Pensacola Street. TPD said a man was standing outside the apartment complex when the shooting happened. It is unclear if the victim was the intended target of the shooting or not. The victim was transported to a hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made. This is an ongoing investigation. Here are some of the best ways to support those in need after Hurricane Idalia. The best way to help is to donate. Be careful, though, when donating. Unfortunately, sometimes scammers can prey on charitable hearts during times of disaster. You can check the legitimacy of the organization you're donating to with tips from the Federal Trade Commission. And also, Charity Navigator and GuideStar also can provide information on nonprofits before you send out your funds. Some of the most reputable sites include the Salvation Army, American Red Cross, and United Way. This is Rachel and A with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon. Otherwise, mainly sunny skies and calm. Highs level off around 94. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Scattered thunderstorms likely. Lows level off around 71. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 90. A mix of clouds and sun. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 93.
Let's take a minute to imagine all the things you can accomplish with help from Southeast Portable Buildings. Are you a hoarder? Hoard some more. Get a storage shed. Mother-in-law moving in with you? Put her in a shed out back. I'm kidding. Still working on that engine that you're going to finish from last summer? Move it out to a new workspace with Southeast Portable Buildings. From she sheds and man caves to repair shops and trophy rooms, the possibilities are only limited to your imagination. Visit Southeast Portable Buildings today.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpers, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu. Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Is that what is the pork?
The bungalow chung, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All of these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of that nobody would know and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
To help us out. It is a chance to help those in the community who were affected by Hurricane Idalia. Tom, if you want to throw it up on the screen, we can tell everybody what to do. Second harvest of the Big Ben and a hurricane relief live show. We doing that today, tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. The normal show is just in terms of the repurposing of all super chats. 100%. Every cent of every dollar goes directly into the bank account of the Second Harvest. We don't touch it.
No, we don't get a penny out of it. I don't want any money from it. This is what we're doing.
There's no even middleman. It just goes right to them.
No middleman, straight to them, pure cash, homie, feeding people. That's what they do with that money. That is tomorrow on the show. Now, in addition, if you're uncomfortable with that, you have an opportunity to engage in a tailgate. We're all tailgating. Hell, if you're going to the game and you're going to tailgate or you're going to be anywhere near the stadium, then you can do one of two things. You can come by our pregame show at Hotel Indigo, and that just might be easier for you. I'm not saying that to drum up people to come there. This is not about us at all. This is not. It is not. But a lot of people like to swing by. And if you do swing by, we're on the roof, Hotel Indigo, best view in town, pregame show, Tom and myself, good times previewing the Southern Miss game on Saturday. If you want to bring some canned goods, non-perishable food items, that'd be great because we have a way to get that over to the tailgate site at the stadium. So maybe you're not going in. I don't know. Maybe it's out of your way or something like that, and you don't want to do it. We'll do it for you.
Better yet, too, if you're not making it by the stadium at all on Saturday, you got other things going. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill tomorrow night. We have a happy hour meet and greet at the Corner Pocket. This is another location that will accept those goods. We will transport them for you. So if you got something else going on Saturday, but not tomorrow night, you want to have a beer with us, come on out.
If you are going Saturday and you're not coming by Hotel Indigo and you're not going to swing by Corner Pocket and you are going to go to the game and you know you have a lot of kind, giving folk, well, then might you think about swinging by the ISF tailgate, benefiting the Second Harvest. It is Lot 2, number 127. Look for the ISF tent. Drop off your items and grab a cold drink while you're there. They'll be ready for you. We're hoping to get a lot of folks to drop off food items for folks who were greatly affected and by the hurricane. And listen, again, love working with ISF. We collaborate with them. This is their day. We work with Jonathan and all those guys. They do a great job. But also we work with Second Harvest, and we know what a great job they do. And I wanted, back when we were searching for more people to work with in terms of the golf tournament, I just wanted somebody with a sterling reputation who I could trust, who I knew that if we were able to raise large sums of money or gather whatever it was that we were going to do, that we could show that it goes directly to those in need. And Second Harvest came out on top of that search. And so I can just tell you that I vouch for these guys, ISF and Second Harvest. Swing on by, help out if you can. That is Lot 2, row 1, number 27.
Case in point that we have the best and most charitable audience in the world. Really, you guys are unbelievable. Number one of our mutual friends, Bill, works with the Second Harvest directly. He works for them, with them. But then one of our viewers here, one of the long times, the Pillars, Ralph Spartanol 71 from Hawaii. He's in town for a couple of weeks. He volunteered with them this week. He went to the Second Harvest to volunteer, and he even put in the chat yesterday when we announced this show that they could use the support. He's seen it with his own eyes. He's taken the time, donated his time, which is wonderful and charitable, but they could use the assistance. 7 affected counties that they are serving right now.
All right, to the show, beyond just getting that information out there, a couple of you have jumped in the chats and threw a couple super chats our way that I did not get to yet. We'll start with this one from Lewis. Keon Coleman or Marvin Harrison Jr., who's number 1, and is Johnny Wilson a mental case? Lewis, I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr., who I think is a freak and will be doing what he does in the NFL for a very, very long time. Not that Keon won't. I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. As far as Johnny Wilson being a mental case, no, I just don't think he has natural hands. He's 6'7". He's got huge advantages. He's really figured out how to use his body. He runs as a plus player for that size, which makes him a matchup nightmare for a lot of people. He tends to shut off his brain, is my guess, when he's making contested, difficult catches. However, when he's running free and there's nobody around him, he loses concentration temporarily. He doesn't have the distraction of getting hit or adjusting his body in the air or whatever it might be. It's just a simple pitch and catch. For whatever reason, that is more difficult for him. I hate it for him because I think he's cost himself some money. He's still going to get paid, and he's still going to be a good player. But we've seen this before. Mike Evans does this. Now, Mike Evans is a better player than Johnny Wilson. I hear a lot of our fans say he's just like Mike Evans. No, Mike Evans is a different cat. Mike Evans is going to the NFL Hall of Fame. But Mike Evans does have the problem of dropping simple catches, simple balls, just pitch and catch stuff that you would see most guys make.
You know what Johnny's better at? 2 things than Mike Evans. Now, Mike has, his top skills are Hall of Fame level, as you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, he's
blocking and going to the ground. Johnny goes to the ground gracefully for a large man. He catches passes going to the ground gracefully.
Yeah.
Anytime Mike touches the ground, he has to come out for 3 plays.
Yeah, it usually looks like Mike has shattered something.
That's
but
correct.
when he goes
Johnny finds a way to.
That said, he's stayed in the league for 10 years and done.
Of course,
a really good player.
Again,
yeah.
These are my guys on Saturday and Sunday. These are guys that, if I still got jerseys, perhaps I would get jerseys because I like the way that they play. The both of them.
They're tough.
They're tough. But yeah, Johnny does do a couple of things that are good. It's going to keep him around the NFL for a long time.
Well, he's really willing to hit folks, and block, and he's selfless. He's a very likable player.
Yes.
He also drives you nuts.
Yes.
Both can be true. I mean, Mike Evans does that thing for me. Watching him make big plays when the game's on the line and create mismatches and, go up and head top somebody and just do something that a big receiver should be able to do, it always makes me excited. Watching him drop balls with nobody around him that's going to be a walk-in touchdown or first down drives me bananas.
Yeah, you hear, let's say it's Kevin Burkhardt on the call for Fox. Dropped by Mike Evans. And I know.
3, 2, 1. Here comes the text.
I'm like, yep, I know.
Well,
it hurts my soul too.
These days, I usually just say one thing. I describe his hands or his fingers a certain way.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I don't understand it.
It's not unbelievable.
It is. You can't have hands that big and be that talented and just not know how to catch a 7-yard hitch or something. You're like, what are you doing, man?
Yes, you can.
Well,
We've got
apparently,
a 7-8 year sample size.
Yeah. Optimus Climb, thank you. He wrote, doesn't it seem like Norvell is here for the long haul? I get that vibe that I never got. Let's see here. What am I losing? Oh, there. Sorry. Did it come down here? Yeah. I get that vibe that I never got from Jimbo. I think Mike might pass up a more lucrative deal to stay because of stability and the foundation laid. Well, we got asked this question yesterday on the Interactive, the JCS Interactive on Warchant TV that we do normally Wednesday nights at 7. My boys had football last night, so we did Wednesday night at 6. So I answered it this way. I think Mike is here for the long haul in terms of, I don't think like he's getting a job offer from name another big school. I mean, seriously, name
Oklahoma. Well, no, Brent might crash and burn, and they're thirsty for a big name coach at that point.
Mike Starr is going to continue to ascend right now if he keeps winning games, and it looks like Florida State's going to keep winning games. But I think he's really proud of what they're building here. Frequently talks of Florida State being a special place. I don't think it's rhetoric. I don't think it's being said. Most people, politicians, coaches, you name it, understand that saying things like that makes them endearing to the boosters and the fan base. So you'd be dumb not to say it even if you didn't believe it. I think I do a pretty good job of locking in on people when they're talking about things that in my mind are important. And sometimes I'll come to you and say, not buying it. Dude doesn't think that. I'm glad he said it. It was smart to say it. He doesn't believe it. Other times I'll come to you and say, that guy's fallen in love with this place, or he really likes the administration, or he's very excited about the possibility of building this into something, whatever it might be. It could be any sport. It could be any, and a lot of times the topic's different even. It may not even be sports. I think Mike genuinely appreciates the support he has from Mike Alford. I think he's in love with the idea of what the Battle's End has done for him, which is an awful lot, obviously working together legally the way that you can now. I think that he understands that Florida State is a destination job. It's not a stepping stone job. It is an elite job. That is a fact. Florida State is an elite job. You can win a national championship here. It was important for Jimbo to win that national championship here, to have somebody do it besides Bobby, who had built this thing into a monster and won his 2 titles. A lot of people kind of thought, well, you caught lightning in a bottle with a special guy at a special time who built a legacy, and now could you ever do it again? Well, the answer was yes, and it didn't take all that long. Where you're located and the commitment from a dollar standpoint and the facility standpoint, it's different than most places. I'm not saying it's at the same level as certain other schools that have done better or have a longer history, but it's on the short list of places that if you get a program like this operating at peak efficiency, you can win a national championship. And I bring this up all the time. There are a lot of schools that you could get to operate at peak efficiency that have zero chance to win a national title. None, not a zilch. Cannot do it. You cannot get enough good players, and you do not have the requisite money to build a monster at certain schools. So that's why when you see coaches who take less and do more with it and win 7 games and get a team bowl eligible, you can kind of look at them as on the same plane as these elite coaches who do the same at a place where you can. And they don't get mentioned in the same breath. But I've done this before with coaches. I've said, well, look, man, Nick Saban's best of all time. It's hard to argue different, right? But there are a lot of coaches that have won national championships that you're like, well, I'm not sure that guy's a great coach. Auburn comes to mind with a certain coach, as we well remember, right? He found a once-in-a-lifetime player, and they had a lot of support. That's great, but I'm not sure that guy was awesome. And if you put that guy somewhere else, you'd see his faults exposed a little bit more.
Yeah, LSU's previous two coaches prior to Kelly, and Edo and Les.
Well, and Edo was a joke, but right, and okay. But they won, and there's an investment, all of that. This isn't a stepping stone job. I think he loves it here. I think he's paid handsomely. I think he knows he has the support of the community and the university and the dollars necessary to continue to grow, continue to build this thing into the giant that everybody at FSU wants it to be again. So he's not going to take a job in college that's akin to this. Would he be a threat to go to the NFL? I don't know his heart on that. I don't know his heart. He's a young coach. If you want to play this hypothetical, we can play it through in a way that pleases us. Let's say he wins the national championship this year. That'd be awesome. I think we're all down for that. And then gets them to the college football playoff the following year after losing a slew of guys. He'd be one of the hottest names, if not the hottest name in coaching, period, if he did that. These are all crazy hypotheticals, but they're not so far-fetched as to not be believable, right? Say that happened, and an NFL team came calling and threw gobs of money at him or something like that. Would he take it? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we'd all owe it to people, our families, to listen.
Yeah, I'd say I'd put a bookmark in it to a degree. I agree with you. He loves it here. The support here has been tremendous, especially in the last, say, calendar year, 18 months, when we realized as an administration, okay, all right, you were able to overcome all of this, and here's the reward. I am still leery, though, that let's say the bona fides are now totally established. Does Coach Norvell use rhetoric to put more pressure to get what he wants? I'm not saying the level that Jimbo did, because Jimbo didn't have people skills. Mike does. But once you've proven yourself and you can throw your weight around, what does that look like? What does that sound like? What are you saying? What are you saying to the booster community or to the athletic department that is necessary? And are you willing to go on public channels to say those things? Because I don't think he had the equity to do it yet.
He most certainly didn't.
Last year, it's close. Now, if you follow through on this year, you can say a lot of things, and you could be aggressive in discussing what you want openly. Yeah. I want to hear how that part of his cycle sounds, obviously for the reasons that we succeed big time this year. But I want to know what that sounds like before I make a judgment on would he stay or would he go.
Well, it takes time. I mean, all coaches, upon having success, want to build on that success because they're knowledgeable enough to know that you cannot remain stagnant. You have to aspire to better because the standard doesn't change now that you've won. And I've repeated it for 20 plus years. You are not a victim of your success. And every coach that steps to the dais the first time he does it, it raises an eyebrow with me and I get concerned. Bobby did it and it raised an eyebrow and got me concerned. The second you lament that people are holding you to an impossible standard because of your success and you throw it back in their faces like Dabo did. We've won a lot of games around here.
Last 2 years of the ACC kickoff. Yeah.
The second you do that, that is a sign of breaking. That is a sign that things are not right. You have lost sight of what you aspire to do. I can admit, as a talk show host, that the standard for Nick Saban is an impossible one to live up to. But he's not a victim of that. He is paid handsomely. He's not a volunteer. He's rich beyond his wildest dreams, and he's earned it. He probably deserves more money per season at Alabama than he's currently getting, and he's getting a lot. And they can lose 2 games, and Alabama fans are disgruntled. And those 2 games could be an overtime loss in the last second against LSU and on the road at night against Tennessee in front of 100,000 people.
With a kick, with a chance to, yeah, exactly.
And people are like, well, he's slipping, man. What is? And you might, upon hearing that criticism, if you're him driving home, go, are you people serious? You are what you are around here because of me and Bear Bryant. That's it. That's all. One Gene Stalling season. And you sons of bitches, half of you can't read. and you want to rip me, you might think that, but you can't say it. You can't say it. And if you do believe it, you got a problem.
I'm just hoping we can vet this in a more real way. It means that the next 3 months include a lot of wins, a lot of blowout wins, and some things that we can hang up in Doak or however they do it now. They put like the years.
I love what we do now.
What do you even call that? You suspend the numbers? You pin the numbers into the press box area?
Yeah,
2023
mounted or whatever. Yeah,
mounted. You mount 2023.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it would be amazing. That part of what they've done to Doak is very good.
How about the roof? What do you think? Put a roof
No,
over your head?
I hate it. I get what they're trying to do.
You can go to September games.
I get what they're trying to do, but I don't want that. Not as the way I saw it designed. Maybe the way they do it over in Ireland, buddy. I will tell you that Aviva, that's good. That way they had that was
so
pretty cool.
It's kind of like the original Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, but
I mean they've got the open end zone, but
yeah, it's a little bit more open the way I like it. It's less enclosed
like
than the
sails
old Cowboys.
almost on top of it.
It's pretty cool. What they did in the end zones at Doak is cool too, with the spears and everything else. It just looks weird because you can't tell that anybody's sitting there. And you kind of encourage people by virtue of the amenities not to sit there.
And I would totally understand that.
Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Our partner, ISF Inc., is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Now go call Seminole Glass. They'll get on the road and get it done fast.
Hey Tallahassee, Sarah here. This El Nino heat is brutal. When it's hot, glass is soft and more prone to cracks. No need to call your insurance. Go to SeminoleAutoglass.com. Upload your policy card and request an appointment.
Hey Sarah, what note does a B make when it hits your windshield? A B flat.
Jimmy, better call Seminole.
Someone who thought texting was a better idea than stopping for a traffic light slams into your rear bumper. Now your back is injured and you've got to be at work and rehab all without a car. I'm Dana Brooks of Basic Brooks Law Offices, and we hear stories like this every day. You shouldn't pay for someone else's mistake. Call us at 850-777-7777 and we'll make sure you come back stronger.
I'm Stephanie, and I work for Paul's Termite and Pest Control. I've been working here for over 11 years, and to say making the switch to Paul's has been life-changing is an understatement. First, we provide a service that truly helps people protect the health of their families and pets from disease-carrying bugs and rodents, plus their homes from destructive termites. So when I go to work every day, what I do really makes a difference. Second, I have grown professionally in the company. I was hired by Paul's in customer service, and now I'm the customer service leader. While my responsibilities have grown, so have my pay and benefits. It's such a blessing to work with friends doing something that helps people, plus being well paid. If you're in a job that provides minimal pay and satisfaction, we have openings right now. Paul's employees receive many benefits like CHP, 401k, paid vacations, and holidays. We work Monday through Friday and provide extensive training so no experience is required. Call today to learn how we can improve your life.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles
Blues Colts in an AFC South matchup on Sunday. The Jaguars are 5-point road favorites, a total 45 at Lucas Oil Stadium. College football Saturday, Doak Campbell Stadium, Florida State laying 31 against Southern Miss. Baseball today, Braves a $3.20 home favorite against the Cardinals. Braves a $1.30 dog at home against the Seattle Mariners. Get your free VSiN subscription right now at VSIN.com. For more sports betting news and information, go to VSIN.com. Mike Son at Real Talk 93.3.
Every piece of land has a story. Some write theirs behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor, like the Upshaws.
This is my tractor Penny. It's all about attention to detail.
But the Nelsons love cruising around their expansive Montana ranch in their John Deere Gator UV.
We've been here since 1868.
While the Caggianos drive a John Deere zero-turn mower to keep their Long Island brewery looking sharp.
Don't call me. Don't bother me. I'm going out to mow for a couple hours.
Run with us and start telling your story. Learn more at johndeere.com/radio.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water, pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Honey, I just got a text from Dave. He wants us to come over for a barbecue. What's our excuse for not going?
Oh, no need for an excuse anymore because Dave got a new grill from Hearth and Patio.
Oh, thank goodness. Dave, we will be happy to join y'all this weekend, and congrats on the new grill from Hearth and Patio. My wife said she would bring potato salad.
Hearth and Patio invites you to elevate your grilling game this year with one of their amazing grills from Fire Magic, Royal Master, or Blaze Grills. Call them today, 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282, or visit them online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Hearth and Patio, making barbecues great in the Sunshine State.
Honey, Dave said no raisins in the potato salad this time.
Call them today, 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282, or visit them online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com.
Attention radio listeners, this is a Foodies Takeout and Delivery new restaurant alert. Now available for takeout and delivery from foodiestakeout.com. The Hawthorne Bistro, Jerry's Love on a Plate, Coach's Pizza, Munchie's Pizza, Red Eye Coffee, Lofty Pursuits, OG Subs, Dave's Pizza Garage, Sakura Sushi, and many more. Find a complete list of locally owned restaurants offering takeout and delivery at foodiestakeout.com. That's foodiestakeout.com. Don't just shop local, order local.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Celebrating the NFL's return any special kind of way? You chilling at the house? I'm going to guess you're chilling at the house.
I'm celebrating in a special kind of way at the house. I mean, I will have a couple of cocktails tonight as I watch the
welcome
game.
back to the league. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Tomorrow I'm going to be at the CP with you and Corey, and I think Aslan's coming as well for the meet and greet at 5 o'clock at Corner Pocket. So I figure I'll probably stay a little bit later tomorrow at CP because we don't have an early kick on Saturday. So I can enjoy. I think Illinois, Kansas tomorrow too.
Yeah, and I
sit back and watch that game.
I got me some Kansas action.
There you go.
By the way, I don't like calling it a meet and greet per se. I understand you mean that in the nicest way.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
it's just no live show.
We're just hanging out, guys.
Yeah, it's a hangout.
Yeah, we're just really hanging out, having a couple cold beers, talking to whomever wants to come up and say hello and talk football. That's fine. But it is an opportunity, though. I'll reiterate this: if you're not going to the game tomorrow, or you're uncomfortable with tomorrow's show, where we're asking you to donate to help out the folks that were affected by Hurricane Idalia and help the second harvest, you can swing by and say hello, have a cold one, or not have a cold one, whatever you want to do, and just drop off some cans of food or non-perishable food items, and we'll get them over there to that tailgate, the ISF tailgate with Second Harvest on Saturday. Look forward to that.
Ooh, quick aside.
Yeah.
So tonight you've got the opening game. Pick a side, 6 cans of vegetables.
Oh, for me tonight?
Yeah, pick a side.
What's the number? What's the number?
It's probably KC under a touchdown, would be my guess, because Kelsey's status was still up in the air as of this
Can
morning.
you tell me, please, that Kelsey's going to play? I picked him in my fantasy draft. I'd like him to play.
He had morning workouts last I heard.
Get to running. Can I take Seattle to kill the Rams?
No, it's got to be tomorrow so that on tonight's game, so that tomorrow we can bring
you guys
the proper...
can tell I kind of like Seattle to kill the Rams.
I noted it. It's going to be something I text maybe a friend, a friend of a friend.
Man, I mean, seriously, think about the damn Rams. That is a sorry-ass roster. And Cooper Kupp's not supposed to play.
That's correct. Hammy issues.
That is a beat down waiting to happen. Of course, they'll win by 10. Because it's the damn NFL.
KC 4.5 is the number. And it's in Kansas City. What am I talking about? I thought I said.
Yeah, I'm going to take Kansas City and hope that I'm wrong.
Okay.
You take the Lions?
Lions plus 4.5.
4 cans of whatever.
6 cans of whatever for the people.
Mario,
of the
you want
harvest.
a piece of that? I know you're out there listening. You going to take Detroit for some beef stew or something? Like we've always bet? You let me know in the chat. We got to do something. What happened? I'll answer these questions. What happened to Dominic Robinson and the show Jeff was going to do with Bryant McFadden? Well, we got hamstrung on the Bryant McFadden thing. He's great, and I love him and hope to do a show with him someday, and I think he wants to do a show with me. We really hit it off very, very well, but he works for CBS, and there was a problem contractually with us being able to do that show, and so we're working on it. He's tried to work on it. We're trying to work on it. Really nobody's fault but CBS. Blame CBS. Write your senators.
There you go.
And then the other one is D-Rob. It does have a very busy life and a superstar son playing football, and he's got to do lots of things. And so
there's still maybe something there with D-Rob
here and there. We'll see, right? It's hard. You reach out, you try to do your things, and everybody's got a life separate from broadcasting. And this is what I do for a living, but a lot of those guys, it is kind of a side occupation. They have money, they've got things they're doing, and so.
As for the watch-along thing, though, D-Rob agreed that just because of the nature of today's consumption, which is we can't get the streams to sync, we also don't have the rights to the film on the fly.
The All-22 would help
it's
a lot
cool,
there.
But it doesn't have all the wrinkles that you would want at your disposal if you're going to do it the right way. So there might be, guest spots and or maybe small 22 stuff for D-Rob. But the watch-along stuff was fun. I really enjoyed it, but there were some hurdles that he agreed, we agreed. Those, we could probably squeeze the juice somewhere else.
I take it the beer.
I hope he pitches again. That's all I'm saying.
I will say this, that
good segue.
I like the idea of doing the type of show that we were going to do with Brian McFadden, and we're still working on possibilities. But in the interim, I will also tell you, I thoroughly enjoy you and I doing the interactive on Wednesday, because that's the night that I would have been doing the other thing.
Yep.
And it's fun. You guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, Wednesdays at either 6 or 7 p.m., mostly 7 p.m., occasionally 6 p.m., you guys just join us on Warchant TV, and we're chit-chatting with you guys, having a casual conversation. And we do something very similar when we do Bellying Up, which is also a thing that's going to happen throughout the year.
Yeah, the Interact is fun because it's just raw. I mean, the entire hour is just questions and answers. There's no pomp and circumstances. Like, all right, what you want, people? And then we wipe up the questions, we answer them. We do fun things on the show, and there's a performance element to the daily show. But the interactive hour is just what you want. What do you want to know? Let's just talk about it. So it's a lot more fun. It's got a different bend to it.
Well, it's like the question we had last hour regarding Mike Norvell. Like, what happens when you win a game like the one we just won, like Florida State just won, and the spotlight returns to the program, and people begin to look at the coach and how it was that you arrive at this spot? You begin to realize that there are a lot of games in the schedule Florida State's going to handle rather easily. So all you do is get into the other stuff. All you do is get into what happens if we keep winning? What happens if we lose this coach? What do you think about this guy? Are we a threat to do this? And it's fun because that's sports in a nutshell. Sports Talk Radio certainly is a big proponent of that. I mean, there aren't too many subjects that are off board when we do in Sports Talk Radio. You're allowed to speculate here. You're allowed to engage in things that you hear as long as you identify them properly. You can say, this is a rumor I heard. You have to say it's a rumor. You can't state it as a fact, but you can have that conversation. You can say, I've heard this. Can't confirm it, but I've heard it from more than one source. You can do that in Sports Talk Radio. So, I mean, it's one of the things I love about the medium.
Well, one thing that's not on your board today with your picks, but I heard a rumor that you're very interested in the Seahawks, even though I might not see him on your NFL board.
I didn't put him on the board, but I am very interested in the Seahawks.
It feels like you might be rumor here that you're more interested in the Seahawks than you are in the two games you played.
No, I bet against the Bucs because I think it's obvious. I mean, come on. I just think they're going to be a blank show. I do.
You're also hoping that's the case.
Oh, I want them to win.
There's emotion involved there because you're hoping for them to tank so badly that it's a top 2 pick and you're all set.
Yeah, I mean, you need a quarterback. Your quarterback's not on your roster. You go into this season, this is the price you pay for anteing up and winning the Super Bowl.
And it's worth it.
It's damn worth it. I mean, it's awesome. It's enough that the hangover effect from winning the Super Bowl can last 5-6 years. It won't last as long as it did in 2002 because we never thought we'd see that day. From whence we came to where we arrived on that night, we never thought possible with all of the losing that the Bucs did. And so we waited a good 9-10 years to be critical. I mean, Gruden was long gone before we were even like, we've waited long enough now. Can we be competitive again? I remember we kind of looked around one day. Yeah. You and I were on the air. We were actually like, I'm kind of getting tired of the Bucs sucking.
Well, yeah, the beginning was the year that Gruden got fired. That was the first year I think I assisted.
He was over 500 that year.
And yeah, they went 9-7, backdoored 9-7 because I think they were 9-3.
Yeah, something weird like that.
But he was extended before the season started. So what did you see?
That was a poorly run organization.
Oh my God, that's when I was thinking, it's going to be a minute here. If that's what you just extend a guy
that you fire the next
year.
And you
fire in 16 games. Mm-hmm. If he got 9-7 the other way, you would have been thrilled and said, we've done the right thing.
Now, again, when you win a Super Bowl, there is the kind of the after effect of that. At some point, you draw the line and say it's time to get back to the getting. And then we did, and won another one. And now you've got a little glow, a reverberation of success. You're kind of, it's all right.
It's very much that's a shame we lost. I would have preferred to win.
I like winning more than losing.
Perspective. It's okay. Not the end of the world.
Now, when does it become, all right, now, that dude needs to get fired? Or are we already there? You're pretty close to there.
If he finds a way to engineer a 5-win season and we pick 5th, yeah. I'll hold that against him more than I would 9 wins.
You got to hold that against management.
If they win 9 games, I will be less mad at Todd Bowles than if he wins 5.
Well, if he wins 9 games with this roster, I'm wrong about him.
But if he wins 5 or 6, that's I got a real problem.
And we know, hey, that's the Atlanta Falcons in perpetuity.
Yeah.
The kind of team that wins 8 games, they're good enough to kind of treat you to thinking you got a chance to be something soon, but you don't. Your draft pick sucks, and you're left out there in the wind.
I like them this year, though.
Oh, I think they win that
as much as I can
division.
like the franchise.
Yeah,
I like them.
Well, I don't know. that's not a personal like. I think they'll win the division. There's something
the way they're constructed.
There's something I do like.
Well, toughness.
Thank you. There is something I like about them, and I wanted to. I wish it hadn't been New England. But when somebody zigs, I want to see the zag win. I want to see somebody say, no, you all want to run tempo and spread it out. All you guys want to run RPO. We're going I formation, fullback, double tights. We're running the ball downhill. We're shortening the game. We don't care. We're going to hit your ass. I like that. I want to see that win. But you got to have special dudes, and they didn't.
That's correct. And that they were running spread anyway. Atlanta was, as they were up 28-3.
Oh, when they choked it away, yeah.
Yeah. They weren't exactly the Harbaugh Ravens.
I will tell you this. It is astonishing that a coach that I believe to be the best in football let that happen. Shanahan is impossibly good.
It is an argument against his
it's a very big one.
Yeah.
It's an overwhelming.
I'm going to spot you 25-point lead in the Super Bowl.
And you got Shanahan calling plays.
And your only job is to win. Go.
And it's not like I'm going to spot you 25 in the Super Bowl in the second half, and it's your only job is to win the game. I'm going to spot you 25 in the Super Bowl. You've got the better team.
And you got the ball.
And several minutes are off the clock in the third quarter. It's not at the 14:50 mark. I mean, come on now. that is something to behold.
It's one of the most Mets things to happen in sports.
It's hard to fathom that it happened.
Yeah.
But it did. And they're still without. Unlike the two-time Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that's why you can handle.
Who you're picking against every week.
Every week. Every week.
Per the big board.
Probably every week. My picks for this week, once again, put them up there, baby. Let's promo our friends at Metro Deli, where the food is delicious. If you guys haven't been by Metro Deli downtown, you're missing out. Tom goes there every day, twice a day. You do
delicious breakfast and lunch.
You do go there often after practice.
Good breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, sneaky good breakfast. Really good. Give me Iowa State plus 4.5 against Iowa on principle.
Cyhawk.
By the way, your man only scored 24 points last week.
Who's my man?
Ferentz son.
Oh.
Kirk Ferentz son with the contract that is the most hilarious contract in college football that says he has to average 25 points a game or get fired. And oh, by the way, that contract, there's no wiggle room. If it's not 25, you're fired. End of story. He scored 24 against an eminently beatable and team that you ought to dominate. We're behind the 8 ball. If we're checking in on Iowa, we're behind the 8 ball with the kid. Give me 4.5 Iowa State. Arkansas minus 38 against Kent State. Arkansas is not good. Kent State's really not good. They want to get rid of the program. Old Dominion plus 5.5 against Louisiana Lafayette.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
I'm glad that you've added this. That GIF, that meme is fantastic. That is really, really good. I know who I am. That is fantastic. I did take Old Dominion, and I like them on the money line as well.
Ooh.
But for purposes here, I just took the 5.5. Oregon laid the 6.5 against Texas Tech. UConn plus 3 against Georgia State. Not a full-blown siren, just a little
siren.
Ooh, you kind of sound like a certain coach who liked his running game. Ooh, I like our running game.
We looked him up last year. He's coaching, right? I got to find it.
Yeah, he's coaching somewhere. Minnesota minus 20.5 against Eastern Michigan. I took Oklahoma State minus 3 against the Fighting Kenny Dillinghams.
Head coach San Diego State.
Gotta love coaching. San Diego's nice. Wake minus 9.5 against Vandy. NFL games, I took the Jags minus 5 against Indy. Indy's an organization on fire, as in a bad way, as in a dumpster. Vikings minus 6 versus the Buccaneers. Buccaneers are terrible.
That Indy-Jacksonville line, something's wrong with that, too.
I know.
That stinks.
Well, they always play close games, and somehow it's
Richardson's going to throw for 200, run for 100. Something weird's going on.
So Anthony Richardson's the weirdest quarterback in football, and really kind of has been since we've laid eyes on him.
Yep.
When he's good, he's otherworldly good, and you're like, there's nothing we can do with this dude. He's a freak. He's a massive individual. He's the closest thing we've seen to Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And since Cam Newton.
You go 200-100, and the Jags win 23-20.
And you're like,
Vegas collects.
Son of a.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me, right? But when he's bad, he's terrible. Can't hit the broadside of a barn, missing wide open guys, throwing pick sixes, and just standing around looking like he's never even seen a football. It's weird. It's weird to see somebody like that. Those are your wagers. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
A cup of Joe, Java, brew, go-go beans, brain water, liquid lightning, wakey juice, whatever you call your cup of coffee, you're missing out if it's not Grassroots Coffee. At grassrootscoffee.com, you'll find an easy way to order the best roasted coffee beans available. It's very simple. Choose the blend you want and how you want it ground, and the bag you receive will have the date your beans were roasted and packaged on it, all written by hand and signed by the roast master himself. You'll know that's as fresh as it gets. You can get Grassroots outside of your house also at some of your favorite restaurants in town. Next time you're out to eat, try asking for Grassroots Coffee by name, because there's a good chance they will have it for you. And if you own a business, Grassroots Coffee has options to stock your break rooms with all the productivity powder your team needs. Plus, like some other options that you'll find at work, Grassroots Coffee actually is a part of our community. Hit grassrootscoffee.com today and get yourself a treat. Some locally owned, locally roasted, and locally loved Grassroots Coffee.
Is joint pain, soreness, and achiness getting in the way of your best life? Football legend Emmitt Smith refuses to back down to pain. That's why he's a huge advocate for QC Kinetics and their natural approach to getting you relief.
Look, we get one trip around, so I wouldn't ever let pain stop me from hanging out with my race team, traveling with my family, or golfing with my friends.
Emmitt's got it right. And QC Kinetics uses regenerative medicine to relieve that never-ending pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. And the best news, there's nothing foreign being introduced into your body. Just your own body's natural healing properties. No surgery or no downtime.
If pain's holding you back, maybe it's tennis, pickleball, running, hiking, or spending time with special people in your life, what are you waiting for? This is precious time. Get out there and get over to QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 850-391-4280. That's 850-391-4280. 850-391-4280.
There's no doubt that buying a home can feel overwhelming, especially if it's your first home. You're worried about location, school zones, square footage, inspections, insurance, loan approvals, interest rates, and of course the price. Buying a home can be the most significant investment you've ever made. But there's good news. You have our friends at Legendary Home Loans, and they're on your side and in your corner. They're going to go to bat for you. Shannon Young from Legendary Home Loans can help first-time home buyers get up to $25,000 for your down payment. For first responders, veterans, teachers, military, and healthcare workers, and that's not all, Shannon is an expert navigator of the home loan terrain, and you can trust that he's going to get you the most competitive interest rates and guide you through the process every step of the way. Plus, Shannon will also get your closing costs reduced. It's the Hometown Heroes program at Legendary Home Loans. Give them a call today, 844-FSU-LOAN. That's 844-FSU-LOAN. Or go to FSUHomeLoans.com and ask for Shannon Young.
NMLS number 2270-146.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome back to the Jeff Cameron Show, sponsored by Legendary Home Loans, a mortgage experience designed around speed, simplicity, and customer service. Before you buy your next home, contact our friend Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
simple one. This is the excitement we have surrounding the opportunity for folks to weigh in and to help out. And because of that, the simple solving for the future is that of hunger this time around. ISF does a lot of these things with their expertise, working with government agencies and obviously collaborating in a way that helps systems be more efficient. The technology and the things that will allow for more people to be helped out quicker. But this is one of those just rootsy sort of efforts here, even though ISF is national and they've been 1,800 projects and done all these other things that we've talked about at length. They're also the same group of people who like to get down in the mud and help, and they'll be doing that here. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, and again, this is a meeting that we had about this tailgate function, and it's awesome. But before Idalia hit, and now the need has surged to a different place, which is why we're doing, ancillary things to help. We're trying to add it all up, make a difference. 7 different counties in the footprint here in the Big Bend have been severely impacted by last week's hurricane. It's amazing to think, too, just from the outside. We got lucky, we got spared, but that's only a week ago that happened.
Well,
so much has happened for the football program, the thing that we do for our day job in a week, but that's the reality we live in, not the reality that's lived into our east, where things are just being rebuilt from the ground up. So this is what ISF is helping with this weekend. There's a surge demand, and this is what we're going to be helping with over the next couple of days.
Well, we saw a lot of the damage done in the drive over to Orlando. Yeah. I was blown away in certain pockets of that drive with just how much damage had been done. And you do realize how lucky you are that it didn't come further north. And, we were fortunate it took a hard right, banked hard right as it did. But, again, those that are affected, it has to land somewhere. We know that. And ultimately, you don't want it to land on top of you, but it does land on top of somebody else when that's the case. And so you want to help those folks out the best you can. And Second Harvest is able to do that, and ISF is going to help them. And that's a good thing.
Just as you would hope that somebody would lend you a helping hand if it happened to Leon County. Yeah. And so that's what we're going to do. And that's where ISF, they're awesome. Before this happened, again,
this is long before this happened.
We sat down, we had a meeting, and it was great because Jonathan says, look, we do a lot during Thanksgiving, but what about, football season is a great time to shine a light.
Why not do a tailgate is what he said.
To shine a light on it. Yeah.
And so that tailgate will take place. You can easily find it. You just got to stop by Lot 2 outside the stadium there, Lot 2, number 127. So it's row 1. It's number 127. You can figure it out. It's not rocket science. Get over there to Lot 2, and you'll be able to drop off your cans or whatever it is you're dropping off, as long as it's non-perishable food items. We greatly appreciate it. You could also drop it off at Hotel Indigo on Saturday when we're doing the pregame show. Tom, what time we go live on the pregame show?
It's a 5:30 show, 5 o'clock doors at Hotel Indigo.
Beautiful. Come on in, get you a cold drink, enjoy the air conditioning, get yourself set up for the day, drop off some cans, say hello. We'd be happy to see you, and we'll get those food items transported over there to the tailgate. So we have a way to do that. You'll be in good shape there. And or come on by the hangout party, if you would, at CP tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
That's your tailgate for your son's game. That's what it's going to be.
It's true. 5 to 6 we'll be there hanging out. So, and others will be hanging out longer. I'll be making my way to the
football game. Your dad going to be there?
I believe so. He's coming into town. It's up to him to be here on time.
Okay. Well, he's good enough. You can't force him to do anything.
Grown-ass man. I can't help him.
More grown-ass than you are.
Yes, that's right. So he needs to get here. He understands that, but,
Our friend Bill, who is recovered from his surgery, said he's got a Guinness ready to go for all of us.
Let's go. The tradition continues. And that's a sizable Guinness. We don't
mess around. No. So can I ask a solving for the immediate future question to you and perhaps the people at large?
I'd like you to do that.
What player are you most excited to see on Saturday? What player are you most excited to see on Saturday that is not a routine starter or member of the 2 deep? Because if they put this game into that territory, there's a lot of dudes I know I want to watch.
Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn. I want Brooklyn to get in.
What about Brian Courtney?
There were some rumors he was going back to tight end.
Really?
Why? We're good there.
Were we? Blake Nicholson? Come on.
Blake has got good instincts. He's just undersized, but he'd be suited for this game.
Andre Otto If they could get that far
he's a good
down
player.
the
He's going to
offensive
be
line depth chart,
he's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player.
You have to get to probably the threes because he's a true freshman. That's way down the depth chart in terms of body development. I'd love to see that kid make a debut this weekend.
Also, I would tell you, yeah, so Brock Glenn's my answer for sure.
Got Hakeem.
Oh, that's a good one. Brock Glenn to Hakeem.
Couple years. Yeah, he made a throw yesterday in practice that was anticipatory. Hakeem gets out of his break, explosive, makes the catch to the sideline. I thought, ooh, that's going to look good in Ireland. That's going to look real good in Aviva.
Yeah, I want to see those two guys build that relationship, but I do think Hakeem's going to play a role this year. I think he's going to make some plays in games this year. He may make some plays in the game Saturday with
good
Jordan throwing to him. I'll say this. I've talked about emotionally not being as charged up for this game against Southern Miss. But the two things that I have also talked about that I think are true is there are a lot of guys I'm rooting for. It's a likable bunch, and you get to play a lot of players who are also promising players in games where you have a lopsided advantage. And Florida State has a chance this week, and this is a 7-6 Southern Miss program a year ago. Pretty decent quarterback at Southern Miss. They'll blitz the hell out of you. That's how they play defense. So you got to be smart with the ball. I trust Jordan there, by the way, and take advantage of some one-on-ones and blitz situations. I think we'll have a lot of big plays in this game. Point I would be making there is that if you do take care of business and you make good decisions and you handle whatever it is Southern Miss throws at you, the enthusiasm for these players with the promise of which we speak and the talent we've seen in camp so far, and guys like Winston, Sean puts it in the chat here. Yeah, you know what, Sean, you're right. Winston Wright, get him a bunch of passes thrown his way. He had the one in the game. It was a big play. It was a big play. It was great.
Wiped out the Jaheim Bell drop.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of guys that you'd get excited to see and to go out and make plays. So we do have a place now where the rosters come up. And when games get ugly, you don't have to be bored. You can kind of lock in on who else are we looking at here in the immediate future or a couple years down the road. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, I see a couple of Sam Singletons, and that's a good answer, too. You have to get way down there, though. We've got a lot of backs that need some touches.
Keziah Holmes needs touches. I mean, we got
C.J. Campbell. C.J. Campbell's a really good player.
Yeah. Rodney Hill could take the ball, tote the rock 10 times.
I think he will before garbage time. I think he's back up to speed. They're very impressed with what they saw last week, and finally he gets to show the world what we've been talking about and hyping up. But Sam, as a true freshman, body type-wise, looks like maybe a sophomore or junior. He doesn't look tiny and frail, and he needs to get to work with Coach Storms. He's already, in some ways, larger than Toafili.
Yeah, he is. Sergeant Eggy says, do you all have 2014 vibes where we start slow, blow teams out in the second half? No, I don't. I think that was unto that game. I really do believe Jordan will play better. Jordan needs to play better in this game. I'd like to see Jordan play. Now, I get that we're all singing the praises because of the second half, and he accounts for 5 touchdowns. So it may be a bit nitpicky. But because I really want great things for that kid, I've admired his path towards where he is now. I've watched this guy do something that I've never really seen a quarterback do. Go from just being a guy that you really don't think can play the position but is uniquely gifted as a runner to becoming a more complete quarterback. But if he's going to take the biggest step of his career now, after having proved it last year that he could play at this level, at a very high level, if he's now going to take the next step to being a viable option as an NFL starting quarterback, which I never thought we would say, believe me, I never thought we would say that. If he's going to, he's got to make some tough throws, some tough reads. He's got to fit it in there. Most of the throws he made on Saturday night were easy throws to make. He bought time. That's what he's gifted at. But I want to see him make throws in rhythm. I want him to see him make good decisions. Those 2 colossally poor decisions are not something we need to be seeing from him, because I think he's better than that.
I agree. I've got my player comp for him finally. There was nobody, I couldn't think of a single player that he was like, because he's just so uniquely gifted. But now that his passing game is coming to life, he completes 74% of his passes, or 70+% of his passes on a night where you think, man, he didn't play that well. And I understand what you're saying. A lot of the dudes were open, but he created time and angles, and his eyes were always downfield as he was doing that, even to a degree too much. Like, you have to say...
a couple times he could have just taken off.
Just go, young man. Like,
I'm
glad that that's the mistake instead of dropping your eyes too often.
Absolutely, and it's in your bag. You can,
All right. So hear me out here. He is not the same level. Poor man's, if you want to use that term, Russell Wilson. There's a lot of similarities between these two.
Yeah, but don't do that because, and I don't mean you. We now know the version of Russell Wilson that's fallen off a cliff. You're talking about the Super Bowl champion, all-pro. Yeah, but he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't always have to be off platform. He doesn't always have to try to make something out of a broken play. He can play within the offense and make those throws because he did it last year.
Right. Well, Russell did more in college
he did,
than he did in pro.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? Like, both at NC State and at Wisconsin. Yeah. Yes, the improvisation made the highlight reels, but he threw from the pocket a lot.
Well, that's why we loved him coming out of college.
Yeah.
Actually, the oddest thing that ever happened to him is at the end of his time in Seattle, they let him get away with murder because of the resume.
Yeah.
Understandably, when he won a Super Bowl and was an MVP and all these other things, what are you going to say to Russell Wilson? And then all of a sudden, it seemed like their offense went from being an offense constructed in a way where sometimes plays break down and you can make a play with your legs. I'm not saying the offense was constructed that way. I'm saying when those plays broke down, then he made you pay dearly because he was a phenomenal runner. He could throw on the run, kept his eyes down the field, made plays, had real arm strength, throw across his body, made all kinds of throws, right? He fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, every play became this thing where he's roaming into trouble for no reason and then getting out of trouble and then making some plays. But it started bad habits, and it spiraled to a place where he couldn't just hit his back foot on the ground and throw the football. It was crazy.
Yeah, the bad from Jordan this weekend kind of reminds me of that second part of what you're talking about, of Russell. But the knowledge of where the pressure is coming from is just immense. That is a professional trait that Jordan had even last year. But now he knows where to go with the football even more. He has some misses where it's just, you're square, everything's right there. Just deliver the strike, young man, and he doesn't. I'm holding back from saying that that's the total comp, but I now see a translation between where he is now and what would work on Sundays in a way I did not before. And Russell's the closest thing I can find. You're diminutive. Now, Russell's denser than Jordan is, but Jordan is faster than Russell was.
He's faster, but Russell's
pocket elusiveness and pocket
was
presence.
insane. Also, he was a really good athlete. I think we're so far removed from him being the athlete that he was that we forget that what he was at NC State and Wisconsin, and also a baseball prospect, and all. He's an elite athlete.
Agreed, but look at Jordan's elusiveness and the highlights from last year. Even this game, moving around to create throwing lanes for himself, buy time, like all these kinds of things. I finally have one where I'm like, okay, you're in the neighborhood of this player. And I think that's it, Russell and JT.
I see people in the chat asking about what would have to happen for him to go in the first round. I don't see that. I mean, I don't.
Russell didn't.
No, I just don't see it. I don't see that. But I again, I adore what he's done, and I think it's an awesome story, and he is an extremely talented college quarterback, and he's going to make it to the NFL, and he's going to make a team, and he's going to get drafted. I did not think that was true.
The other thing that was important is down the stretch. I don't think this is the smartest thing he did on Saturday. There's a lot of things that weren't smart, but in the fourth quarter, running a guy over to move the chains when you're up 38-17, I get what you're doing. Don't think it's necessary, but it's also notable after we get through whether it's smart or not. All right, Jordan, you got the toughness to throw your shoulder down and run somebody over. That's new. Didn't see that before. Usually it was about eluding guys, not running through guys.
Yeah, I don't need you to do that. I'm trying to win the whole thing this year. Don't need you to do that. Brock Glenn's not ready to win it for you, and we can't with Tate. So nope, and nope. So don't do that. Let's stop doing that. Although I do like, by the way, that he didn't do what the Clemson quarterback did, which is slide early on a fourth down and come up short. That is not going to endear you to your teammates who are out there getting after it every play, and then you slide short on a fourth down. Buddy, that ain't it.
Yeah. You know the rule. You know it's where you start your slide.
Yeah, that is not it. That's soft. very soft. ISF, solving the future. And this weekend, those that are hungry. Good times. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
On Monday, September 4th, officers responded to a call of a vehicle versus a pedestrian at the intersection of Appalachia Parkway and Capitol Circle Southeast. When officers arrived, they located one adult male suffering from life-threatening injuries. The man was taken to a local hospital where he later died. The driver, an adult male, remained unseen and is cooperating with the investigation, which remains ongoing. There are no charges at this time. An infant was killed in an apparent accidental shooting Wednesday night. Tallahassee police responded to the intersection of Miccosukee Road and Capitol Circle Northeast around 7:30 p.m. They made a caller who was transporting a 1-year-old with a gunshot wound to the hospital. The child died at the hospital. Officers said the shooting happened at Grove Park Apartments off of Dick Wilson Boulevard. According to TPD, preliminary investigative efforts indicate that shooting was accidental, but they are still investigating. This is Rachel Anay with your Roll Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at McLemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon, otherwise mainly sunny skies. High temperatures reach up to 94, winds out of the southwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms again tonight, lows around 71, partly cloudy. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 90, a blend of clouds and sun. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 91.
Did you know metal roofs' survivability far exceeds that of traditional shingle roofs? It's time to consider a metal roof from Metal Roofing Sales of Tallahassee. We provide the best quality, least expensive material and accessories in the area, as well as material pickup and delivery. Our painted panels qualify for the City of Tallahassee's low-interest Energy Star loan program also. And don't forget about our veteran law enforcement discount. Give Metal Roofing Sales a call today at 536-9123, 536-9123.
So everybody knows, Eddie, that you are a spectacular cook. Of course they know that. If they go into Bumpers, the food is always good. I mean, everything on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Everything at Gordo's is delicious. I always, of course, get the bungalow chungla, as I call it.
The panko lechon, Jeff.
Is that what is the pork?
The panko lechon, Jeff.
Okay, the bungalow chungla. It's delicious. All these things, all the items, everything you do, a master cook. But, sir, I would ask you, what is a skill that you possess that you're particularly proud of, that nobody would know, and that you could share with us here?
Growing hair, Jeff. Growing hair.
You're an asshole. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
I forgot to check over there to the damn super chats. Sometimes I forget. That's on me, guys. That's on me. It's never devious. I'm not trying to slide anybody, but sometimes I forget to check it.
No, you hate people.
Barry writes, Jeff and Tom, what do you think of the Duke penalty for a dead ball late hit on Clemson quarterback on 4th down, resulting in Duke getting the ball? Should have been unnecessary roughness and first down Clemson. The way the rule works, Barry, and you can gripe about the rule, and I'm not necessarily telling you you're wrong about griping about the rule, is that the second he begins his slide, the play is over, it's dead, and it's an after-the-play foul. It's a weird way to interpret that rule. I agree with you. But that is the way college interprets that rule. The second he slides, the play is over. Anything that happens is a dead ball. And Duke got possession of the ball because he fell short on 4th down when he started that slide, and then the penalty is assessed after that. I don't like that call. I don't think it's the right way. I think it violates the spirit of that rule. But that's the way it works.
Years and years ago, I had Mike Pereira respond to me on Twitter because I had a rules question about an Alex Smith slide in a pro game.
Sucking up to Mike Pereira, were you?
No, I was asking, what the hell, man? He started his slide. He says in the pros, it's actually where your first body part, not your feet, touch the ground or hand. So it's like anything else down by contact. So if it's a calf, a forearm, or whatever, that's when the play is dead, not where you start your slide. So that's for spotting rules, for contact, all that stuff. But in college, it's the beginning of the motion of the slide. This came to bear last year twice against Florida for Jordan Travis.
And it's a nonsense play because he was a touchdown.
He was just trying to evade.
Yeah,
not
he's doing a
slide
side
and give
thing
up.
there. Yeah. But it's a nonsense rule. Yeah. That's funny, Dave in Bardstown with the Deuce Flan to the dessert menu inspired by Chris Fowler. What are we doing, Chris?
I didn't know he was a legacy of the great Warren. They must have changed the spelling.
I thought it was strange too. And I thought, by the way, I'm going to tell you that team did a good job. When I went back and listened, Fowler and Herbstreit were very good in this game.
Chris has gotten it to where
he brought it back up. Yeah, he did a good job. And I know people are mad at Herbstreit's tweet because he had his 7 teams who broke out over the weekend or that he thought were great. Get mad if you want, but guys, I can't say what I was about to say. That would have been bad. He fawned over us during that game. Herbstreit fawned.
You saying there was a base involved?
Good God, guys.
But the thing is,
what do you want him to do?
Well, he had to apologize because he didn't put Elko in his top 7, coach. He goes, that's a complete brain fart. I'm a little worried about him. You were at the game. He was also calling the Utah-Florida game, and Utah makes the list? Sir.
Well, here's what I'm telling you.
Sir.
I'm telling you, this is not unlike the coaches poll.
Yeah, he wants to hit all corners. So
no, he didn't make the list.
Yeah.
It's his assistant made the list. Hey, Kirk, who are we putting on the list? I don't know. Utah, Minnesota.
You figure it out. I'm having a beer.
Dude, that guy could not have raved more about Florida State's performance in that football game. He found it very impressive. I'm not going to get worried about Twitter. Twitter sucks anyhow. Just don't worry about it. People get pissed.
Well, he needs to fire whoever put the list together.
I agreed, but Jimbo couldn't even remember half the teams that he had in his top 10. Utah played terrible and still blew Florida out. I know.
But they were one of the 7 most impressive teams of the weekend.
I'm telling you, I don't think he makes the list. I don't think he cares. I don't mean it that way. I mean, like, he's prepping for games. He clearly knew our team. He did a good job. He could not stop.
Deuce Spann.
He couldn't stop talking about Florida State. Good Lord. At the end of the game, I thought he was going to cry. He was so proud of him. Tom writes, have you guys saw the new LED lighting in person? Have you seen the new LED lighting in person? No, I don't think I have. Have you?
Yeah, we did.
We did?
That was the Saturday practice.
That's the impact it made on me, guys.
Yeah, it was brighter on the field. Now, you would have known, I went down for interviews after.
Okay, I left.
And it's brighter on the field.
I don't go down there for interviews. I don't care what they have to say.
They didn't do any of the special stuff. But let's revisit that again.
I said I don't go down for interviews. I don't care what they have to say.
There it is.
But we have other staff members that are going to post it. I'll read it later. I'm going home.
Remember that next time we have Mike on the show.
I care what Mike has to say when he's talking to me.
They didn't break out any of the tricks of the blinky lights or anything like that, but it's a lot brighter on the field. There used to be big-time shadows at Doak. No more.
I agree, and I'm glad that Tom was able to answer that question better for you than I did, Tom. Thanks, Eric, Jeff, and Tom, Tall Boys, for football tonight, Saturday, Sunday. Go Noles, 63-14 over Southern Miss. That's not a bad prediction, Eric. I don't think that's crazy. I could see a score like that.
He also had a score pretty close to the LSU one.
As close as mine?
Pretty close.
I mean, I did have 41-24.
You did.
It's awfully close to perfection. But I will also say that I do think Florida State's covering that 30.5. I didn't put it on my list. Am I an a-hole like Herbstreit who didn't put it on my list? I'll go Florida State.
If you had Florida State ranked number 10 in your personal power rankings, you would be.
We get to this caring about nonsense. It's ridiculous. I want him now to never have us on the list. Now I wanted to just never have us on the list. Every week we're undefeated. Oh, sorry, forgot. Didn't notice. But I'll have I like us minus 30.5. I do. We got to get to some probables. Hey, I will say this. I know we're all ensconced now in football. It's all football all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy, baseball is going to kick ass in the postseason. There's a lot of parity. I wouldn't want to play the Phillies. There's your squad right there.
Yeah. They're like the crinkle cut fries of Major League Baseball, you know?
Like Zaxby's, delicious Zaxby's. My goodness gracious, that's delicious. The split top bun, the thick cut pickles, that thick breast of chicken. Man alive, are we doing some things at the 77 neighborhood Zaxby's here in Tallahassee.
Get you a box today.
77 Zaxby's to choose from. Whoa, that's so many. That's too many.
They opened up 25 in the last day?
Too many Zaxby's. But hey, that's our great reward. Some people think it's heavens. I say it's Zaxby's. 77 location. Here we go. Let's go. How great is that?
Getting you a platter for the weekend?
Oh, without question.
Post-game meal for the young men.
And it's free for me, being a celebrity and all that. Most people have to pay for their platter. Not this guy. We're going to eat some Zaxby's all day, every day. Let's fire it up and get to these probables. I'm not going to forsake Power Mill, who sponsors this segment.
Optimus Climb calls you the bun splitter, just so you know.
There are jokes on a show that I would do that I cannot. We all know what they are. PowerMillSports.com. PowerMillSports.com. Cue it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching probables?
Not many games tonight. You know, that's another team that I would not want to play right now. The Seattle Mariners. Really good. Could be a problem. Could shake it up. I like them. Luis Castillo going for the Mariners. He's good. Rays are going to throw Zach Littell. Good game.
It was a cool moment. This weekend, the Mets took 2 or 3 from Seattle, and I asked why. But DJ and Cal Raleigh switched uniforms.
Oh,
on the field.
Very cool.
You don't see that from the Knowles too often these days. Pretty fun.
Very cool. Dodgers, Marlins. Dodgers got pitching woes. They're going to enter the postseason with a gaudy record and get told to go the hell home. Sorry ass pitching. Your abusive top of the rotation starter. Ryan Pepio. Braxton Garrett goes for the Marlins. We got the Tigers and the Yankees. Eduardo Rodriguez. That's who the Dodgers tried to get. And they failed. He said, suck it. I'm not coming there. Yankees are going to throw Carlos Rodon. Cardinals, Braves, Adam Wainwright, Max Fried. It's criminal the Cardinals keep rolling Adam Wainwright out there to start games. He of the 810 Wainwright family. What are we doing? Max Fried, he's good.
Next thing you know, they're going to drive him around the ballpark like he's Steinbrenner.
I'm cold. D-backs, Cubs, Ryan Nelson, and Javier Assad. Guardians, Angels, Cal Quantrill, TBD. That is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. That minutes or seconds, buddy? Minutes. Do you like the what are they called? Dum Dums? Or those little popsicles? Not popsicles. Lollipops. They're Dum Dums.
Back in the day,
they're delicious.
Yeah,
haven't had one in ages. I got a funny story to tell at the end of the show here. My dumbass. I got. I'm such an idiot, but I got onto it after just 4 months, luckily. I ordered something from an online provider, shorts, like a pair of shorts, like workout shorts. Anyhow, the group, don't get caught up in this, people. They're called Fabletics or something like that, Fabletics. Anyhow, I needed workout pants, and they had this special going on. I was like, oh, those are good. The stretchy kind, I like those. You can work out in those. So I ordered them. Well, in the fine print, it says that you're now a member of Fabletics and you get charged a monthly fee. You get credits built up, but they charge you for those credits. It's a scam. It's nonsense, Fabletics. And I was noticing on my PayPal that I was getting charged
PayPal
$59 a month for the last 4 months. And I was like,
oh, man.
So I'm like, what is this? What is this thing there? And I thought it was me. I thought I probably ordered something. I was like, oh, you must have got something that you do use. Because, a lot of times the provider is something different than what the label says. And you're kind of, they go through that company. Well, then I did some checking. I'm like, oh, no. They're screwing me. So I called them today. And I was like, this is not going to stand, man. And they were like, well, sir, don't you understand how many credits you have built up? I was like, you can try. I'll sit here all day. I'll jump through every hoop. This isn't happening. And then finally, the lady at the end, she started to talk. I go, nope, don't want it. And she goes, what about, nope, don't want it. And then we played the little game. I made her laugh. She's like, sir, I'm canceling your membership now. I'm like, you're damn right you
got
are.
a refund though, did
no,
you?
Oh God, no. She goes, is there any other thing I could do for you? I was like, you can give me all my money back that you guys stole, but I know you're not going to do that. That's the end of it.
I've got 2 memberships like that. One is for wine.
Well, that's a good
and that's
one.
Great because
mine
every
is
year
for stupid
holidays,
stretchy shorts. I don't want that.
The holidays, I'm like, oh yeah, I got like 300 bones. All right, because that's the easiest thing to give out for the holidays.
It's a good one. Not stretchy shorts. Screw you, Fabletics. Good work out of you. Good work, Director Matthew. Be well, everybody. Peace.